not bad, pretty good. And now we have this, the official Nokia branded Android TV Streaming Box 8000. Let's take a closer look. So no clickbait here, guys. You are looking at the official Nokia branded Streaming Box 8000. Now, the company that actually makes this is a company called StreamView, who are a licensee for Nokia branded Android TVs and Android TV devices. Now, in terms of specification, this has the exact same specs as the Chromecast with Google TV. So you're talking about the S905X3 processor, so 2 gigs RAM, 8 gig storage, official Android TV version 10, dual band Wi-Fi, Ethernet port. Now, I cannot confirm at this moment if this is gigabit Ethernet or just 10100, but that really would be amazing if that was gigabit Ethernet. You have a USB 3.0 port, you get a 3.5mm audio video jack, you get optical audio and a USB Type-C. Now, the fact that we have these Ethernet and these USB ports built in really is something that I've been asking for a long time, because as you guys know, with the Chromecast or with the TiVo Stream 4K, you don't really get these kind of ports built in. So if you want to expand the functionality on those devices, you end up buying things like OTG cables, USB hubs, extra power adapters. Whereas with this device, all of that should really be built in. And what about that for remote control, guys? So let's quickly open this up. So this is everything you get inside the box. We have the standard power adapter. We have a HDMI lead. You get a small instruction manual, and of course, because this is official Android TV, it does support the Google Voice Assistant. And here is the device itself with the big Nokia logo there. In fact, why don't you guys leave me a comment below and let me know what was your first Nokia, if you had that as your phone. I know mine was the 3310, I believe. Okay, so on this side we see a nice USB 3.0 port. Let's go around the back. Here we have the power input. We have the Ethernet port, which I still need to confirm if that's gigabit or not. We have HDMI output. We have the AV out, we have the optical out, and here we have a Type-C USB port. So having this on the device as well as the Type-A USB port will really allow you to expand the functionality by adding in other peripherals, USB keyboards, hubs, mice, and really any other Type-C devices you can think of. On the bottom here we have some rubber feet, and here we can just confirm that this is the model 8000 FTA, designed in California. So that's the unit there. And here we have the remote control. Now, I'm not saying size is everything, but just comparing that to baby Chromecast over here, I mean, this is like a man's remote control. So we have a number pad at the top here. You have dedicated buttons for play, pause, forward, rewind. We have extra buttons to control your other audio video devices. Here you've got a dedicated button for the Google Voice Assistant. And you also get dedicated buttons here for your Netflix, for your YouTube, Prime Video, and also Google Play. So in terms of feature rich, this remote control really does have it all. So that's pretty much everything you get inside the box. Now, just as a word of warning, guys, I'm not going to spend too much time going through benchmarks and specifications, because as I mentioned before, this has the exact same CPU and GPU as the Chromecast with Google TV. So what really what I want to focus on in this video is answering those key questions like, can you sideload applications on this new Nokia Box 8000? Can you expand the storage by just plugging in a USB cable? Can you use a virtual mouse with this remote control? And really other questions like that, which I'm sure you guys as streamers would want to know. So let me now plug this in. So as soon as I plugged it in, this is the first thing I see. So it looks like there already is a software update for this Nokia 8000 streaming box. So that is one of the benefits of having an official device. You are a lot more likely to get updates for it. And here we are on the home screen of the Android TV Nokia Streaming Box. Now, as we can see, they've gone with the stock Android versus the Google TV version that we see on the new Chromecast. And this is a Bluetooth remote control. Let's go over to settings quickly. Let's go to device preferences. Let's go to about. And here we can just see this is running Android TV version 10. This is Nokia Streaming Box 8000. Let's back out of that. We can see this does have built-in Chromecast, which I will test in just a second. Let's go to storage. And here we can see out of available 4.5 gigs, I currently have 3.5 gigs available, but I will be testing how we can easily expand this storage by just plugging in a USB 3 thumb drive. So let's back out of that. Let's get down into more settings, go into display, and the resolution we can see is currently set to 4K at 60 frames per second. Now, This is actually a HDR monitor, and unfortunately it does seem like HDR is on all the time, because if I back out of this, and I'm sure we will see on the top right, it is getting a HDR signal. So I don't know why this is permanently on, but it does make the colors look a bit saturated on the home screen, as we can see there, guys. So I'm hoping they will fix this in a future release, because I know some of the other Android TV devices have this problem as well, where they're constantly just pushing out a HDR signal. They do need to fix this, definitely. So question number 1, can I easily sideload applications on this new Nokia Streaming Box? Well, to do that, if I just install Downloader, I can now go into settings, and I do actually have a dedicated button for that. Let's press that now. Let me go over to device preferences, click on about, and where it says the build number, if I press the select button on that, we can see we are one step away from being a developer. I can now press the back button, and we now get access to this developer options menu. But the key thing what this allows is, if I back out of this now, I can now go to applications, security and restrictions. I can now click on unknown sources, and I can now say that anything I download through Downloader, I can actually install the application. So let's enable that now. Let's press the back button. So what that means is I can now install third-party applications directly from Downloader. So that's really the first thing we can confirm. Let's back out of that. Next up, what kind of Wi-Fi speeds can I expect when using this Nokia box? So to test that, let's open up our speed test application, which is just Anatili. Okay, so we're getting very close to, okay, so we are getting over 300 meg downstream, megabit downstream, which is very good, because my actual real speed is around about 340 meg. So test number 1, we got 311 meg. Let's do test number 2. Okay, so again, test number 2, we're easy getting over 300 meg downstream. So this is actually very similar, if not slightly better than what I got on my Chromecast with Google TV. But really, guys, if you're getting more than 100 meg, that's more than enough, even for 8K streaming. And the final test with the Nokia Streaming Box 8000, we have got, again, over 300 megs. So that's the test on wireless. Let me now plug in my Ethernet cable, which is connected to a gigabit switch, and let's see what kind of speeds we get with that. Okay, let me now plug that in. There we have it, guys. So it looks like it is just a 100 meg Ethernet port. I mean, one of the issues with the 4K Fire Stick, TiVo Stream 4K, Chromecast, Google TV is, if you do want to use an Ethernet connection, you do have to buy an OTG cable and an adapter. So at least with this device, we can say it is built in, so you don't need to buy anything extra. Just plug in your cable and away you go. But unfortunately, they've gone with 100 meg, which again, I mean, it is perfectly fine for, you know, up to 8K streaming. But really, I mean, how much money did they save by not going for gigabit? Let's test that one more time. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a 100 meg port. Okay, so Wi-Fi speeds easily over 300 meg, and wired speeds, because it's a 100 meg connection, we're going to get around about 94 meg or 90 meg downstream. Okay, let's back out of that. Now, as this is an official Google TV device, I can obviously use my voice and say, play 4K video on YouTube. That should automatically launch the application, and that's looking great. So 4K videos on YouTube, no problem. And there we can just see, guys, Netflix will play in HD or in 4K, depending on your subscription package. That's working great. Let's back out of that. Next up, can I use a virtual mouse on this new Nokia box? Well, if you just go to my website and download the virtual mouse toggle, let's click on that. And this will also just confirm that we can actually install third-party applications. Let's scroll down and click on this green download button and give that a second. Let's click on install. Let's click on done. Let's now go back into settings. Let's go into device preferences. Go down into accessibility. And here we should see a service for mouse toggle. There it is. Let's now turn that on. Click on OK. Let's now open up the mouse toggle. And if I now double press the play button, we now have a fully working virtual mouse. I can now use on all of my third-party applications, or really anywhere that I like. Now, this is something that's obviously lacking on the Chromecast with Google TV, because unfortunately the native remote control does not come with a play button. So the only way to activate it is by using another remote control or maybe another application. Next up, can I easily expand the internal storage of the streaming box by just plugging in a USB drive? Unfortunately, the easy answer to that is yes. So I've just plugged in a 32 gig Kingston USB drive. I can now click on the notification, click on the options here, and I now have the option to format that as device storage. So let's do that now and click on format. Now we'll basically wipe the contents and then encrypt the drive and then have it in a format where we can install applications to it, and we can even move applications that were previously installed on the internal storage onto this new USB drive. So here we can confirm, guys, we have an extra 30 gigs of internal storage. I can now, for example, go to this game which is taking up 135 meg. I can now click on that, go to where it says storage used, click there again, and it now gives me the option to move the application or move that game directly to my USB drive. So let's click on that now. And that's how easy it is to move an application from the internal storage over to that USB drive. And we can see it's done exactly that. So moving applications to the USB drive or installing new applications to that USB drive works absolutely fine on this new Nokia Streaming Box. Let's back out of that. And lastly, can we use a custom launcher on this new Nokia box? Well, again, if we use the tdoctoruk launcher manager for Shield TV, really that's for any device that's running Android TV 10. I can now click on disable stock launcher. I can click on allow. I now press the home key. And just like that, we are inside our custom launcher. No more adverts. We can customize things, move things around, and do all of that great stuff that you can with the custom launcher. So, okay, so what are my closing thoughts on the Nokia Streaming Box 8000? Well, on the positives, I like the fact that we get the full Android TV 10 experience. As this is an official device, you will get the Netflix in 4K, YouTube in 4K, Prime Video in 4K. So anything that requires official certification, you will get that on this device. Now, in terms of performance, this has the same CPU and GPU as the Chromecast, so I found it to be really snappy, opening applications, launching things, everything worked really great. Now, I do like the fact that we get native Type-C USB ports, Type-A USB 3 ports, and also an Ethernet port. It is a shame that's not a gigabit port, but at least it means that if you do want to expand your device or use wide internet, you don't have to mess about with any kind of OTG cables or extra adapters or hubs or anything like that. All of those ports are natively built in onto the device. Now, price-wise, this cost around 100 euros, which is about $120. Now, so the Chromecast is obviously a lot cheaper, but for lots of people who want to get the most from their device, they end up buying things like extra USB hubs, Ethernet adapters, and even things like extra power adapters just to make all of those extra peripherals work. So if that's the case, then really how much money are you saving from buying a device like this? Because with this device, all of those ports, all of the extra expansion is actually built in. I just wish that for around about $100 or even $120, they'd given us gigabit Ethernet and also a faster CPU. So that would really make this a complete killer device, because the way I see it is, on the cheaper side, you've got those $50 devices like the TiVo Stream 4K, like the Chromecast Google TV, and then on the complete opposite side, for around about $200, you got the beast of a device, the NVIDIA Shield. It would be amazing if there was something in the middle, around about $100, $150, which also gave you gigabit Ethernet and maybe a faster CPU. Of course, not as fast as the NVIDIA Shield, but definitely a faster CPU than what we'd find in a $50 Chromecast device. Like, for example, if they use the CPU from the second generation Fire TV Cube, which is the S922X, then if they could get that CPU in a device like this with gigabit Ethernet for around about $120, $150, then that device will just sell like hotcakes. But that's all for this video, guys. Many thanks for watching. I will leave links in the video description if you want to check this device out. They're not affiliated links, so if you want to check that out, that's totally up to you. Do leave me a comment below, let me know what you think about this box, and I'll hopefully catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks.